Hi and welcome to the video. Today I'm taking a flight with a difference, one where I'll be in control of the aircraft. But don't worry, no passengers are at any risk. Instead, I'll be behind the controls of a 7.3 simulator here at Ascent Aviation in Linwood. Never experienced this before, this is a new thing for me, so thanks for watching, hope you enjoy the video. Let's go! Once inside this unassuming office building, you head up to the first floor to check in at reception, after which you'll be brought through to the pilot's briefing room. My instructor for the day, Jean, introduced herself and gave me a quick overview of the 737's controls, with a focus on the flight controller, before asking me if there was anything in particular I wanted to try out in the simulator. I'd asked if we could do a takeoff from San Francisco Airport, which was no issue to accommodate. I was blown away by the level of detail in the cockpit, where every function and control is replicated down to the last detail.
736 from Ryanair.
Okay.
So I'm just going to slide you towards me.
Okay.
And then forward.
Okay.
Is that fine and forward?
Actually, reached the yeah, that's perfect.
Good, okay. This is how we program the flight director.
Yeah.
If you're hand flying it, then I would be programming it for you. Throw the pilots in, then the pilot. And this is your screens, this is your PFD over here.
Once I'd settled into my seat, Jean confirmed that she'd set us up for a departure from San Francisco Airport, as per my request, and we were currently lined up on runway 28 left. I've flown out of SFO a couple of times as a passenger, so it was fantastic to experience what it looked like from the pilot's perspective.
We're not far off it, and I've just put in 3,000 feet to level off.
Right.
So no, we can go higher, it's just something to aim for to begin with.
The focus of the simulator experience is to get some hands-on time flying, so Jean gave me a quick overview of the main instruments, but took care of the majority of the required settings for me.
So you want to be able to achieve full feet. They're quite heavy, and I'll show you what happens when you use your hydraulics on the feet once you're at a safe altitude. Left and right. So for taxiing, if you're taxiing out from the stand to the runway, you just use the steering wheel which is on your left.
Right. Alright, okay, that.
The rudders you use on the ground when you're on the runway, and you would only use them in the air if you have an engine failure.
Right.
And on the ground if there's a really strong cross when you're getting buffeted.
Right.
So, well, I think we'll just get you airborne and see what it's all about. So, the gear lever, shaped like a wheel.
Right.
Flap lever, shaped like the cross section of a flap. Don't talk about the dump valve. The idea being that if the cockpit's full of smoke, then your visibility is full. You can feel it, that's the flap that you should be able to, and you practice that in simulators as well. What should happen is you stand the power levers up, you check that the engine's stabilised, then you press that button, and that activates the auto throttle, which is already armed.
Okay.
So when you stand the power levers up, check the engines are okay, and they will be. Idea being if one comes up at a different speed to the other, then you've got a problem, and you're not going too fast that you can't be checked to take off at that point. So it's going to stand them up, check, press that button, then both hands up the control wheel. And when I say rotate, you're going to pull back and you're going to look for, there's your little black box. The black box. And the cross will appear. You've got the lateral lines there already. And the horizontal line is going to come up as we accelerate. So, ready to go? Happy? Right, San Francisco, good. Stand them up. Fire's coming up good. So you're going to press that horizontal button straight down. Both hands in the control column. Column goes up, set. Fire's coming up. There's the elevator, we'll get rid of that. Fire's set. And if we start going right into left rudder. And you'll see as we get faster, it becomes slow effect. Oh, it's okay. Keep things level. Go. A little bit more left rudder, back on the centre line. Nearly there anyway. So you feel different as you go. Rotate, go back. Right, get off the ground, it's quite a struggle.
I was actually quite surprised by how much you have to pull back in the controls to get the aircraft to climb. Pilots always seem to make this look effortless, but it actually needs more force than you'd expect.
Too fast there, too high.
So push the nose forward and do the flight director's turn. So I've asked it to steer the runway heading, accelerate to 210 knots, keep climbing for a little bit shorter. So yeah, you're going to keep pushing forward. And if you've got quite a load on, then we can trim it out. The autopilot should trim it for you. Does that feel better? Still on the
Yeah, still. Yeah.
So that was just if you've got less than 1,000 feet to go, so the flight director is going to command a lower pitch attitude to bring you down to level off at 5,000 feet.
Okay.
So you keep pushing all the way down, all the way down, all the way down. That's an outburst just because we've gone through 5,000 about 300 feet, but that's alright. Taking that really, really natural, that's excellent. So if I give you a turn to the right, still hang flying, I'm going to select the turn to the right on the heading selector. Just maintain 210 knots for now. The secondary effect of roll is pitch, so the nose drops as you turn, so you have to roll back a little bit on the control column when you're turning to stop the nose dropping.
Jean did a fantastic job throughout the session in explaining why everything did what it did, without getting too bogged down in too much technical detail, ideally aimed at a novice like myself.
And I take it it's that line on the display there, the kind of purple line or pinkish line is the one that I'm...
The dotted line,
Yeah.
so that's showing you which way the heading bug's going, so just we've not got very far to roll out to 030 and the flight director brings you onto it.
Push a bit harder than I was expecting.
Yeah,
It's a bit further as well.
absolutely. So if I press this button here, the autopilot's engaged, so you can take your hands off. The autopilot will finesse to 5,000 feet, bring us back to 210 knots.
See the Golden Gate off to the left there.
Okay, so you turn and take us down to it if you want. So you're going to disconnect the autopilot by doing that.
Okay.
If you well, maybe not.
Is that too fast?
Well,
It was amazing to see the recognisable landmarks below us and being able to fly around the area freely. You really do get a sense that you're at a significant height above the ground.
to that disconnects the autopilot.
Right, okay.
So you're not a flight director, you just fly your visionary and take us down to the Golden Gate.
This is so cool. Was I not happy with something with the warning there, the master
It was the air con because it's preset to 36,000 feet, and
Right.
if you don't go up there and start to descend, it says, well, hang on, what are you doing? Nothing's going right. So by now the air traffic will scramble the fighter jets to say,
why are you not in your flight path?
they're either saying that or they're saying tourists. Why did it have to be tourists? That you follow that flight director there, 10,000 feet, no change, and you go out to right and down on the nose a wee bit. You feel you're aware of how heavy the controls are.
Yeah.
So if you were to lose your hydraulics, it's like switching off the power steering in the car. Feel how much heavier they are.
Yeah.
And the bad news is that if you lose those hydraulics,
With the hydraulics for the controls now switched off to simulate a failure, the additional effort required to control the aircraft was significant.
so you'll be getting into the Bible, one of you be flying it as you are, another one will say, right, I'll just get the checklist out, see if we can fix it or do something, otherwise you're going to get very tired. Have you heard of TCAS?
Yes.
Jean then took me through what TCAS, or the Traffic Collision Avoidance System, does and simulated a TCAS warning for me.
Have them. Have you seen how it works?
It will tell if it detects it's going into it will tell when to go high, when to go low, is that
Exactly, yeah. So, busy airspace, your screen is filled with diamonds.
right?
The navigation screen. So if you can see a diamond at the top of your screen there,
Yep.
it says +0.
So that means it's on the same level?
It should be. You should have at least 1,000 feet vertically and at least 5 miles airways or 10 miles wide and at least 5 miles laterally. So you see someone, you only really pay attention to them if someone's getting closer. You see someone out the window and you're looking right, oh that's him. And as it gets closer, it'll change shape, it changes colour. And as it gets to about between 3 and 5 miles, it's going to go to a yellow filled circle.
Is that miles the thing
so
says?
that's 10 miles. So he's approaching 10 miles on the nose. When it gets to between here 3 and 5 miles, it'll change into a yellow circle that's filled out. It's going to shout traffic, traffic. And now they're called attention getters for good reasons. So it's the only time you get to avoid to ignore your traffic, because you'd be listening out, are they telling us to climb or descend, to change direction? He might be working on different areas.
Traffic.
So you as the pilot flying, you've got your thumb ready to disconnect that autopilot the whole time.
Traffic.
But not until it tells you. Double tap on that, but not until it tells you.
Descend. Clear of conflict.
I'm looking out the window to see, I'm telling you traffic.
Descend. Clear of conflict.
Clear of conflict. So you can pull back now. And you get back up to your assigned flight level. In the meantime, I'm saying clear of traffic. TCAS RA resolution advisory, and they're saying Roger. And then when it's up there,
Traffic.
Oh wow!
when he says push forward again,
The level of realism and detail in the simulator is really fantastic, and seeing the aircraft I'd just avoided fly past me on the left was awesome.
Say, right, I'm getting out here, I'm going to climb. If he decides he's going to climb as well, that's a big bang. Air traffic, if they say, oh gosh, there's something going to happen, they tell you to climb and your TCAS has already told you to descend, then because you're descending, this one's told you to climb, if you do what your traffic tells you, you're going to have a bit of time. And you want to do a bit more flying, you want to, I can show you another thing that happens. So you go, you train for it. So you heard the attention getter.
Jean then set up another simulated warning for me.
Fires on. Well, get this attention getter. So I'm going to wait now. You see what that red button says? Just press it in. It says fire warning, bell cutout. So that lights up saying, hang on, we've got an engine fire. Bell cutout. So when you press the button, cuts out the bell. That's got your attention. So you're thinking, right, which engine's on fire?
So is it the one that's got the lower power?
Well, it could be. That might be an indicator. There might be something on the autothrottle which just has a higher power setting. That would be right, but it's a good indicator. And the thing with an engine fire, if you've got an engine fire at V1 at rotate, you would shut it down straight away because
too much power.
Well, yeah, because an engine that's on fire, might be on fire, but it's still reducing power. So at takeoff, get away from the ground, get to 1,000 feet, then you fight it. But we're going to fight this fire, so we rank it's engine 1 down here. Yeah, engine 1, left engine's on fire. First thing you're going to do is remove the source of what's keeping it burning. In this case, it's going to be the fuel. So due to operation, I would probably take control, but the autopilot's, that is a big thing to know. The autopilot's maintaining 10,000 feet on the heading, on the speed. The autothrottle is put on a little bit extra power on it to maintain that speed. Gives both pilots some capacity. We're safe, we know the autopilot's keeping it right. So I'd be monitoring the aircraft and working the radios. You and I are going to fight the fire. So you confirm with me engine 1 fuel, and I'd say confirm. Engine 1 fuel. Confirm. We'll pull it slightly up and down, all the way down, immediately shuts that engine down. Excellent. And again, engine shut down, the autopilot's still doing absolutely fine. So you don't need to do anything. In the simulator, when you're doing your commercial training, you're doing everything. No autopilot, they train you up to the worst case scenario, and it gives you confidence that you can handle it and the aircraft can handle it too. Still on fire. So what we're going to do is shut the engine off, so we've lost generators, we've got engine-driven generators, and that says they're still on fire, overheat detected. Electrical, that's the generator. Down here it says engine 1 overheat. We've got 2 extinguishers. one per engine if you're having a bad day,
Yeah.
or two for one engine, or one for an engine and one reserve. So you're going to pull that up and swing it to the left, and I'm going to start the stopwatch. You can let that go. Left ball discharge,
Okay.
the extinguisher has left the building.
Yep.
Take your hand off because it's not doing anything now. 30 seconds for it to do its magic. It's a really, really long time. So you're thinking, right, we're not going to go to our destination, it's 3 hours away, even though we can fly in one engine. We want to get it
Safety
to
wise,
we
yeah.
don't know what's caused it. Still not 30 seconds. Right, maybe we're going to go out to San Fran, don't we? 30 seconds is the fire going out.
I think it's because that's lit up, it's
Yeah,
still on fire.
Still on fire. So you're going to 2 clicks round to the right, and you start the watch.
Yeah.
And we're waiting, and now you're getting religion. Now you're praying that this thing's going to go out. Right bottle's discharged, so you're thinking aviate, navigate, communicate. 10,000 feet, are we going to hit any high ground? No, you would get a GPWS pull up if you were. But hopefully you've worked out where you are geographically. And whoever's flying is saying, right, there's mountains up here, I'm going to tell I'll tell you the traffic.
Yeah.
If the fire doesn't go out, it's going to be a mayday, but
It's gone out.
it's gone out, so you just leave that where it is.
Alright, okay.
Because you leave it, if you've had to accidentally emergency, you leave it to the engineers.
Right.
But it's not overheated anymore, the fire's going out, so we don't need to do a mayday, we do a pan call.
Yeah. Okay.
You know the difference between
Jean took time to explain to me the difference between a mayday or a pan call, citing some examples from her own flying career.
pan is we've had quite a serious problem, or I put out many a pan call for medical emergency.
Right.
Pan, Jersey, blah, medical emergency request immediate diversion to it's usually Manchester. Roger, and they part the skies. And they give you time to get on the ground, but they know that you're not hanging about, because you've still got to plan an unplanned diversion.
Aye.
You've got to tell the cabin crew, well, they've told you because they've got a passenger that's ill, and then you've got to tell the passengers, and you don't lie to them, you just say, ladies and gentlemen, sorry, we've got a passenger that's unwell. We're just going to nip into Manchester, get an ambulance to Seattle, then we'll carry on to usually Southampton. But a long haul flight, you might carry to destination if they're not in their death, but you're going to get there as quick as you can. I'm just repositioning us. Ready to fly an ILS. Now this, so, see how close we are to ground?
Right away.
Nope.
Cool.
But if I switch this to night time, you'll soon recognise it.
Okay.
Well, if I say it's McAllen International Airport,
Oh, Las Vegas.
Vegas at night.
Do you know it's a place I've never flown to yet?
Oh,
Las
well,
Vegas.
do you want it back to daytime so you
No,
can see that?
no, it's fine, that's cool.
So, we'll fly an approach into Las Vegas.
It's actually changed.
It was then time to try a landing, which Jean set up as a nighttime approach for me.
So you're going to think, no, it's McAllen, it's only just recently.
Yeah, aye.
Just
Some other senators.
Why change?
Too low. Gear.
Yeah, we're not though. So this is because we're at 10 miles and we've got high ground right below us.
Right.
So it's going to shout at us just till we get a bit further in.
Okay.
Or what I can do actually.
What's that light up there? Is that always on?
Glideslope, so it's saying
Right.
we should. So the ILS hasn't captured yet because I'm going to go. I'm going to arm up the ILS and you're going to follow the flight director. The autopilot still has it at the moment.
Okay.
So I'll do some freezers, ignore it shouting at us.
Okay.
I will just bring the gear down just now. And speed back a little bit. When you're ready, you can disconnect the autopilot and fly us. You're just going to follow the flight director.
Okay.
So your pick time and it gives you your glide slope. We're still just flying towards that beam.
Yep.
So when it fills out, it's going to, there it goes, it's going to come down the screen and it's going to, you want it level with that dash, but the flight director tallies with that, so it should tell you. Push forward and get down onto that glide. Just go slow. I'll just pull it out most of the guys are going to have to go back. Almost in anticipation. There you go, it's looking nice. So you're just going to follow that flight director. You know about PAPIs and VASIs?
No.
So PAPIs are precision approach pointy indicator, I can't remember what it stands for now, but they're lights at the side of the runway. So if you stick your nose out over the top there and have a look at the left, this end of the runway to the left, there's two runways, so you're going to the left hand one. Well, it's white and red.
Yeah.
So there are actually 4 lights there. 2 whites and 2 reds means you're absolutely on profile.
Right.
3 whites you're slightly high, 4 whites you're very high, but you've no idea if you're only a wee bit too high or bonkers, and that's where you use your flight director and ILS indicators just to double check.
1,000.
First feet above the ground, landing flat out. And 3 reds is too low, 4 reds is way too low, and 4 greens is you're already in the ground. So you're just going to nail that flight director. So that beam gets
This was one of my favourite bits of the simulator experience, and with the help of Jean's advice and guidance, I was able to pick up the ILS Glideslope and manage a surprisingly stable approach.
And when we get to 200 feet, so when the radio altimeter shouts 200 at you, you're going to transfer your gaze to the far end of the runway, and you're just going to hold the control column without letting the nose drop too much, but keep it coming down. It's just a balancing act. There you go, so you've got 2 whites and 2 reds, but on the glider,
500.
on the localizer, it looks really good. Nice stable approach. You've got to nail it. The closer you get to ground, you've got to let it get away with nothing. So a tiny nudge to the right, a tiny nudge nose up. Get that box right over. Don't ignore that, so you can go up.
200.
So now you're going to look out the far end of the runway, keep it coming down. Nice. Raise the nose a little bit more, just hold it.
30, 20, 10.
Hold it exactly there. Oh, greaser, are we down? Gosh, we are. Let the nose drop, let go of the control column. It's doing nothing for you, so let go of the control column and you're going to bring it into reverse. Pull these up. Reverse there, and then again. So, if you need to steer, you use your feet. And then there's no centre line here, and then when we get to taxi speed, you use the tiller. So there we go, these green lights are the lead off lights. We're at taxi speed. So if you want to take the tiller and turn it to the right, the nose field is 6 feet behind you.
Okay.
And then you need to, if you come to a stop, you just put on a little bit of power to overcome inertia.
Yeah.
And you taxi onto stand.
Awesome.
Welcome to Vegas. Nice night. We've only got 5-10 minutes left, so I'm going to
And that goes quick.
go very quickly, doesn't it?
That's really good.
And we came in a wee bit early too, so I think we'll take us. Do you want to do a takeoff or a landing?
We might take off, if that's okay.
Yeah, it was your money, you can do it right.
Heathrow?
But Heathrow,
Ah, there we go.
we're on 09 right,
Okay.
and then tower over there, T5 over there,
Yep.
maintenance cargo
Cargo,
over
yeah.
there. We can go to 27.
With time growing short, Jean set me up for another takeoff, this time from another familiar airport, Heathrow, taking off from runway 9 right.
And same again, off the throttles out. Rudders if you need them.
Yep.
We'll stand the power levers up, press that button, take your hands off, and that'll tell you
About
if
40, yeah.
yeah, that'll do. In fact, that'll do fine. Press the button down, hands off. I'll make sure the power goes up. Hands off that and onto that. And I will tell you when to take. Speed related, the speed's determined on the aircraft weight, weather conditions, wind speed, things like that. So you're looking out, looking for air controllers, the best pilots and when those spot, and I would be watching the instruments to make sure that everything looks fine. It does. Nice. V1, rotate. Pull back. That moves off the ground.
Is that the landing gear coming up the noise?
Yeah. So the pushing noise was the landing gear doors opening, and then the gear retracts, and then the gear doors close. Cool. Again, quite ejection being scrambled. Here's the 60th one.
Oh, wow.
So get back on the flight deck, I'll pop the autopilot in for you. Take it. Push forward just a little bit. There you go, autopilot's engaged. Accelerate to 10 at 1500 feet. Not be allowed to do this over the super flight. But as we get closer, you'll see the shard and all these things.
Wow.
London City, the
Yeah.
Thames shines.
So I can see Thames now, yeah.
But there's the heading bug, so turn it to March content if you want to get closer to turning here. Fly by.
I take it it's just literally, like, if I turn it that way, I'll put it a wee bit that
Just
way.
play with it, I'll tell you where to go. So yeah, it doesn't matter how quickly or slowly you turn the heading bug, you'll only ever get a right one time. So turn it all the way around to 060 degrees northeast. And it's only ever going to give you a right one time. That's awesome.
Time really does fly when you're having fun, and before I knew it, my 60 minutes were up. I enjoyed myself so much that I booked a session to try out the A320 at a future date, so be sure to keep an eye out for that video when it comes out.
Actually, yeah, if you can mind, that'd be great.
The crew here at Ascent Aviation were brilliant, and a big thanks to my instructor Jean for making it such a great experience. I really would recommend this to anyone that's interested in it. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you did, please remember to leave a comment, hit that like button and subscribe for new videos as they come out.